capital of India, Mumbai. The most closely watched barometer reflecting the financial performance of the nation. The liberal budget presented this year has given a shot in the arm to those companies which have been planning to hit capital markets and raise resources through public issues of shares.
Capital market में तेजी आई है, strong हुआ capital market, taxation में काफ़ी relief दिया है. Ultimately कुल मिला के नया बजट बेस्ट है corporate के लिए.
The companies have chosen their own methods and tools to raise resources. While many have gone through the debt route, some feel that public issues of shares make good business sense and fits in well with their plans.
जो कंपनी बॉन्ड लेके आ रही हैं, मोस्टली कंपनीज ऑलरेडी पब्लिक इश्यूज में हैं और उनके अच्छी कैपिटल्स हैं, पेड अप कैपिटल्स. जेवीजी फाइनेंस का, जेवीजी ग्रुप का जो पब्लिक इशू में जो है वो बहुत कम कैपिटल है जो पब्लिक इशू में है. तो इसलिए हमने सोचा कि इसको थोड़ा सा बढ़ाया जाए और लोगों को, क्योंकि हमारे जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनकी एक बेहद डिमांड थी कि जब आप शेयर्स इशू करें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को पहुँच सके.
To take advantage of the economic reforms in India, which has bolstered the demand for financial services and housing, the huge capital requirements are being fulfilled by such public offerings like the one from JVG Finance.
कोई भी इंडस्ट्रीज अगर सक्सेस होता है तो दो ही कारण होते हैं, या तो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन उसके साथ स्ट्रांग है और कैपिटल मार्केट में जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं शेयर्स के वो उसके साथ स्ट्रांग है. जेवीजी के साथ तीन चीज़ें हैं कि उसके साथ एक इन्वेस्टर भी है, डिपॉजिटर जो है, तो इसलिए जेवीजी ज़्यादा स्ट्रांग है.
Market analysts feel that the investors should go for those public offerings which are reasonably priced, have sound fundamentals and project good earnings per share. In recent months, Indian investors have witnessed a flood of bonds like never before. Big bond issues started coming at a time when the common investors seemed to be shying away from putting their money in the secondary or primary market. With a progressive budget by Mr. P. Chidambaram, the finance minister, giants in the Indian financial markets are promising to change the future for the better.
It's a growing pie, so there is a place for a lot of players, and most players will play a complementary role. The pie is increasing because infrastructure is getting added to the pie in a big way. In fact, I would say the pie is going to double. So if at all, it is going to be a constraint on funding, not on the demand for funds. So having said that, there is still a necessity for any forward-looking organization to rethink its strategy from time to time.
To reap the best out of the upswing in investor mood, financial giants like ICICI are focusing on the innovative packaging of debt instruments. High returns added to the need factor typical of the Indian investor has been the fulcrum of these innovations.
It's a global phenomenon, and in India it will be a growing phenomenon. What we now have to look at is how do we deepen this market and find ways to do it. And I think the real push that is coming on the infrastructure sector will go towards opening this market in a much deeper way. We will also find the market deepening when, say, for example, the insurance sector opens up, because at that point of time, again, these sort of instruments will become popular. So looking at the debt market in the future, I see this market growing and growing, and it, evolving into what we see in other countries around the globe.
For example, deep discount bonds for those who prefer long-term returns on their investments. Regular income bonds for those interested in a monthly, yearly or half-yearly inflow. Capital gains bond for those interested to avail benefits under Section 54EA, 54EB of Income Tax Act. Encash bonds for those seeking easy liquidity and index bonds for those preferring BSE-linked investments.
The Encash bond, I think meets criticism in the bond market that there is no liquidity. With this instrument, you can walk into any of 200 branches, bank branches in 200 cities, and encash the bond at par, so across the counter, as it were. So this is, I think, a tremendous development in the marketplace. We also have provided market making in or other bonds, which is again a first-time introduction that we are looking at. So we have tried to be innovative in terms of providing the required liquidity to the investor.
Observers feel that those companies who recognize the needs of the common investor and tailor their financial instruments accordingly will ultimately come out winner on the Dalal Street, India's own version of the Wall Street.